Many of us yearn for the profound intimacy and genuine companionship of a romantic partnership at various junctures in our lives. Nonetheless, while this sentiment is entirely legitimate, the alignment of circumstances, mental and emotional states plays a pivotal role. Plunging headlong into a relationship under less than ideal conditions can inflict emotional wounds upon both parties involved. Allow me to underscore a crucial point. This discourse is not intended to cast aspersions or insinuate that you will never be predisposed to embrace a romantic connection. Instead, it aims to illuminate facets of one's existence that warrant refinement prior to embarking on the momentous journey of seeking love. Without further ado, I present 10 unvarnished indicators that you may not be suitably prepared for a romantic relationship. 1. Lingering affections for your past love. Before you can wholeheartedly embrace a new romantic liaison and invest your entirety into it, it is imperative to have definitively moved on from your prior romantic entanglement. This entails no longer harboring amorous sentiments for your former partner, abstaining from unfavorable comparisons with new acquaintances, eschewing the pursuit of relationships as a ploy to incite jealousy in your ex-partner, and refraining from seeking relationships as a mere distraction from the lingering anguish of a previous breakup. I am well aware that many among you have received well-intentioned counsel from friends suggesting that it's time to move on. A new person will be beneficial for you. Alternatively, you may have encountered the aphorism, to get over someone, you need to get under someone else, popularized by mainstream culture. In truth, embarking on a rebound relationship invariably culminates in anguish. Your new companion will feel exploited, and you will be fraught with guilt for having used them. Hence, it is imperative to acknowledge that being solitary and unattached is entirely acceptable. Employ this interlude to nurture the relationship you hold with yourself, extricate yourself from the shadows of your former flame, and, when the time is auspicious, reintegrate into the realm of romantic pursuits. 2. Unwillingness to yield. Do you find yourself grappling with exasperation when circumstances deviate from your preferred course? Do you resent the necessity of acceding to the requirements of others? Consider, for instance, an acquaintance of mine who is exceptionally meticulous about the tidiness of her abode, bordering on obsessive-compulsive tendencies. When she enters into a romantic partnership, discord invariably ensues if her prospective partner does not adhere to her exacting standards of cleanliness. In essence, she exhibits an absolute unwillingness to compromise. Yet, within the context of a salubrious romantic connection, reciprocity and concession are non-negotiable. Each individual harbors their own aspirations, prerequisites, and idiosyncratic approaches to life. Therefore, it is only natural that when two lives are amalgamated, both parties will be required to make sacrifices and reach a consensus to foster harmony. If you sense an unwillingness to embark on this course of action, it is advisable to defer the pursuit of a romantic relationship until such a time as you are prepared to undertake this commitment. 3. Excessive self-centeredness. Prioritizing one's own aspirations and life objectives is by no means an egregious disposition. It serves as a testament to one's ambition and aspirations. However, if there exists no room within your existence to accommodate another individual, it is indicative of an unreadiness for a romantic liaison. It is crucial to recognize that romantic entanglements necessitate a substantial allocation of attention, temporal investment, and unwavering dedication. In such a circumstance, I proffer this counsel: do not reproach yourself if you are not presently prepared. The trajectory of life is punctuated by diverse phases. Perchance, your current juncture warrants an unwavering focus on personal development or career pursuits, and this is perfectly acceptable. When you are adequately poised to devote your energy and time to another soul, you will be gratified for having first achieved the prerequisites for such a commitment. 4. Emotional inaccessibility. Another telltale sign of one's unpreparedness for a romantic relationship lies in the impediment to express emotions or cultivate profound connections with others. It is an incontrovertible verity that the success of a romantic partnership hinges upon the candid articulation of sentiments and the cultivation of an enduring bond, predicated upon vulnerability and trust. If you find yourself grappling with emotional unavailability for sundry reasons, the most prudent course of action entails embarking on a journey of self-discovery and introspection. endeavor to comprehend the roots of your emotional disposition. Do not eschew the prospect of seeking support. Engaging in therapeutic interventions can facilitate the dissolution of the emotional barriers that hinder meaningful connections with others. To be candid, if one enters into a romantic relationship without first convalescing and transcending emotional impediments, the inevitable outcome is often profound anguish and injury inflicted upon the other party. 5. Reluctance to bestow trust. I alluded to the significance of trust in the preceding point, for, in the absence of trust, the very foundation of a romantic relationship crumbles into oblivion. Perhaps you have been wounded one time too many in the past, or your upbringing was fraught with turbulence, thereby bequeathing you with a pervasive sense of distrust. Irrespective of the underlying causation, it is imperative that you grapple with this issue prior to incorporating another soul into the equation. Drawing from personal experience, I ventured into my current romantic relationship, devoid of a full appreciation of the extent of my distrust, owing to the scars inflicted by prior partners. Although my partner and I continue to navigate this journey together, it has entailed a surfeit of heartache and the arduous process of healing before I was capable of confiding in him and experiencing a sense of security in our bond. In retrospection, I rue the hardships I subjected him to and fervently wish I had embarked on the path of self-restoration prior to our fateful encounter. Therefore, the crux of the matter is this: refrain from replicating my missteps. While you may occasionally stumble upon fortuitous outcomes, more often than not, you will perpetuate anguish, both unto yourself and your prospective partner. 6. Predilection for solitude. Does the mere contemplation of investing an extended duration in the company of another individual leave you feeling enervated? It is essential to acknowledge that certain individuals derive profound contentment from their own solitude. If you habitually gravitate towards solitary pursuits, engage in activities unaccompanied, and derive genuine satisfaction from this autonomy, the pursuit of a romantic relationship may prove incongruous with your intrinsic disposition, and that is perfectly acceptable. I comprehend the external pressures one might face from well-meaning friends and family, beseeching you to unearth a compatible companion. Nevertheless, if solitude is your preferred state of being, it is advisable to remain steadfast in your course. I have encountered numerous individuals who experience a stifling sensation within the confines of romantic unions, for they genuinely relish the freedom afforded by solitude. Coercing such individuals into the straitjacket of a romantic relationship would invariably culminate in calamity for both parties involved. 7. Aversion to invest effort. I shall be forthright in articulating this point. Nurturing a romantic relationship necessitates assiduous toil. If you harbor the notion that romantic liaisons are replete with an unbroken succession of blissful idyllic moments, I must disabuse you of this misconception. Authentic, romantic connections mandate relentless endeavors from both parties, who must perpetually labor on their own self-improvement and the enrichment of their shared bond. Regrettably, there are moments when the arduous nature of these exertions becomes palpable. The gravest error one can commit is to initiate a romantic relationship, expending negligible effort toward its sustenance, thereby subjecting the other party to heartache and the squandering of their time. Consequently, it is imperative that you conduct an honest appraisal of your disposition. If the prospect of love captivates your imagination, but you harbor a disinclination to exert yourself in its pursuit and preservation, it is a definitive indication that you remain unprepared for a romantic alliance. 8. Inchoate clarity regarding desires. Are you able to articulate with precision your aspirations for a romantic connection? Do you seek a profound, enduring relationship, a casual liaison, a friendship suffused with romantic overtones, or perhaps the unequivocal commitment of marriage, children, and the acquisition of property? The realm of possibilities is expansive and replete with opportunities, yet it is imperative that you possess at least a modicum of clarity concerning your aspirations and your vision for a prospective partner. While it is not obligatory to have every facet meticulously delineated and meticulously planned, given that life's vicissitudes often circumvent our best-laid plans, some degree of discernment is essential before intertwining another soul into the narrative. To put it succinctly, embarking upon a profound and enduring relationship, only to subsequently discern that a casual liaison aligns more harmoniously with your desires, is a scenario that will leave your dating partner disillusioned and both parties retracing their steps. 9. Absence of stability. It is imperative to clarify that a state of complete equilibrium is not an essential prerequisite for embarking on a romantic connection. Accumulated wealth, a mortgage-free existence, or ownership of an opulent automobile are not obligatory markers of stability. Nevertheless, a certain degree of equilibrium is requisite. In the absence of such stability, the cultivation of a healthy and secure romantic relationship becomes an arduous undertaking. Stability transcends financial considerations. It encompasses emotional well-being as well. I recall a colleague who, regrettably, lost her mother several years ago. Shortly thereafter, she commenced a romantic liaison with an individual. Yet this unfortunate young lady was still grappling with the throes of grief and the profound perturbations wrought by this monumental life event. Her emotional turmoil rendered it challenging to regulate her sentiments, ultimately leading to a tempestuous relationship that terminated abruptly. In hindsight, she acknowledges that it would have been prudent to focus on convalescing and restoring her life to equilibrium before plunging into the vortex of a romantic entanglement. 10. Endeavoring to fill an emptiness. Lastly, I implore you to contemplate your motivations for seeking a romantic relationship. Are you propelled by sheer ennui, or the perception of an inner void that yearns to be filled? Do you aspire to secure a partner simply to obviate the discomfiture of attending social gatherings unaccompanied? Let me be unequivocal. A romantic relationship does not possess the capacity to rectify these underlying issues. If you endeavor to employ a romantic liaison as a palliative measure for existential discontent, or as a means to circumvent the vexations of solitude at social gatherings, you are embarked upon a misguided path. Should you persist in this erroneous course, it is destined to culminate in frustration and disillusionment down the road. The requisite course of action entails introspection, the identification of lacunae within your existence, and the pursuit of contentment independently of a romantic partner. It is imperative to apprehend that a romantic companion should augment your pre-existing happiness rather than bear the responsibility for its inception. To recapitulate, the intent of this elucidation is not to foster despondency or despair, but rather to foster awareness. Until such time as you rectify certain facets of your existence, the pursuit of a romantic relationship may prove premature. Nevertheless, through dedicated effort and steadfast commitment, these circumstances can be rectified, facilitating your eventual readiness to embrace the enigmatic realm of love. Until next time, stay tuned for more thought-provoking content. Take care, and remember, love is a journey worth embarking on.